72 commas, right?
Leghetos.
Right? And then the tetrachord should be 30. Okay? And then the pentachord should be 42. Right? After the tetrachord, if we put the meson tones, the big tone, it becomes 42. So in the case of leghetos, what do we have here? Uva is 8, this is 12, and this is 12. This makes 32, which is not correct as for the theory. It must be 30. So that's why they say, the theory says that in order to get 30 from 32, they usually put a memor, antithesis, as we call it in Greek. And the 32 becomes 30. But it's not only that. It's these intervals here, Vuga and Gadi, are common with another intervals from another mode. From which mode? Non-diatonic, from second mode. Remember, second mode is the same. Vuga is 8, Gadi is 12. The key changes to 8. Okay? So, if we get this flat a little bit, reminds us second mode. Okay? Now, we'll see later how much is this. Is 2, minus 2, or minus 4. But if you remember from last year, I told you that how the modes become, how they got born. Remember that? From 0, how would it say? First mode, second mode, third, fourth, and the plugins. Do you remember, Johnny?
Yeah.
Can you explain your friends that weren't last year, how do they come, and I will draw it?
I think as much as I remember, you started from ni as
Yes.
a basis.
Ni is 0. Okay? Now, if we have one
One is tone 1.
we have the pa, first mode.
First note.
We have gu, second mode.
Second note.
We have ga,
Third note.
third mode, and
Then
we have
di.
di,
Yeah. Fourth note.
fourth mode. We don't have ichos above di. Why? Because it cannot start above di, because we need a scale. A scale above di will go if we start from K, for example. It has to end to the upper K, it's too high. The upper D is our limit for a common human voice. Okay? So, these are the main modes. First, second, third, and fourth. Okay? And the plugins, how they got born, the plugins, from the main modes. Because the plugins become from the main modes. They are not come from the space. The Byzantine theory says that every plugin is 4 voices lower than its own mode, than the main mode. So, for the ba, we have in the each plugin, which is plugin first, or as you say, 6th mode. Fifth, pardon. Fifth. As for who, it's the lower K, which is 6th mode. As for Ga, what note should be?
Zo.
So what?
Agent.
This is between Pa and kevu, they are perfect fifths. Zoa is not. So it has to be B flat. Zo, iphesis. And this is plagal 3, or you say baris, or 7th mode. And for the, we have mi. Or 8th mode. Yes, now we have some problems here. What are our problems? Can we chant 5th mode from a lower D? No, it's too low. Can we chant 6th mode from lower K? No, it's too low. But can we chant 7th mode from here?
Yeah.
Yes, we can. From here and upper, we can chant anything we want because it belongs to the common territory of a common human voice. As for them, for these two, another canon, Byzantine canon, says that, we said yesterday, in every 3 voices, we find the same mode. As in Pa, we have first mode, Pa, Vu, Ga, Di. In D, I can have the same mode. Di, Ke, Zoni, I can have the same mode. The beginning of the same mode. So, from D, if I go upper to 3 voices, I come to Ni. So, Ni is the basis of the 5th mode. If you see the old manuscripts, the martyria, the first martyria of the 5th mode in the old notation is like this. It's like Pa with an apostrophe, which means one voice lower than the Pa. It is Ni. For K, if we go 3 voices, we have Pa, so we can chant Pa in 6th mode. 6th mode? Yes. Do we have 6th mode? 6th mode on Pa? Of course. Yes, we have. So, do we have from Zo 3 voices? It is Vu. Do we have in Vu anything like Varis, like 7th mode?
Leghetos.
Leghetos. It's the same with Varis, exactly the same, with the same intervals. Viga, Vu is Panizo. It's exactly the same. We'll see today in this Polyelius. And do we have from Ni 4 voices, excuse me, in Ga 3 voices? Do we have in Ga any kind of 8th mode?
Yes.
Do we? Yes, we do. In Triphonia, we have. So, in every 3 voices, I can find the same mode. Or, I can tell it to you in another way. If I use oligon from 0, from Ni, 1 voice upper, I have the main mode, 1 voice down, I have the plagal. So, in Pa, I have the main mode, first mode. In Ni, I have the plagal, the start point, the basis of the plagal. If I go to Vu, I have the second mode. And if I go to Pa, I have the plagal of the second mode. If I go to Ga, I have third mode. And if I go to Vu, I have the plagal of the third mode, which is Varis. It's the same with Zo. And if I go from Ga to Di, I have fourth mode. And for an apostrophe from Di to Ga, I have the plagal of the fourth mode in Ga. Do you understand? This is the trochos. I think that's the easiest way to tell you these things.
Practically speaking, you never find the plagio to proto from
In all the manuscripts, this is the way it's written.
in the new system.
Not in the new system. In the old system, this is the first material. And legeto, not legetos, legeto in Greek means say it. Legeto, they cut the vowels. Legheto means say it. Can we chant varis from vu? Yes, because in that case say it, legheto. Say that. And that's why we call it leghetos. But exactly it's the plural of third mode. It's varis. Okay? But in order to be varis, should be vu or vu flat. Question for all of you. Why?
Because it's vu and zoe varis are at a perfect fit from one another. And
From zo to vu, yes.
Yes.
That's in the
And
order.
I think the report stays the same, right?
What?
The report between the perfect fit report stays the same.
Is it?
It's not as though it's there.
Have you ever heard leghetos from Constantinopolitans or varis? I think we have. YouTube is full of them. Have you noticed that they always chant flat and zo and vu? Why? Because if I will use zo natural, I have to put here the diesis. Or if I will not touch this because this is the basis of the main mode, I have to put the flat here. So the same thing has to happen in vu. If I will use vu as it is natural, I have to make ke bemol, flat. Or if I have to put flat in vu as basis in order to have ke natural. Both of them are used. And as about ke, especially in leghetos, we have three types of ke. What is this? If we use ke emphasis, and we see it in a lot of pieces, like the doxology of Petros Peloponnesus in leghetos, he uses a lot. This bemol requires to make a big interval here to be like this. So actually we have second mode. Okay? Even though if it is for an analysis, a small one, just to touch it and move back, we have to make this one. So this is the first K with flat. We have the natural K, as we say in Timiotera, natural K. And we have the K that we used yesterday, when the melody goes and stands in zo, the K goes upward. So we have K diesis, sharp. Okay? These changes happens to all of the tones of the scale and depends on the way the melody goes. If the melody goes and stands to vu, we have the pa closer to vu always. Not only going from pa to vu, but from vu to pa and ni. Ni, pa, vu, pa, ni. Always. Because if we don't chant this way, it will destroy the color of the mode. Can you understand that? This is a part of the mode, and that is why it's called mode and not scale. This is not the scale of leghetos, this is the mode of fourth mode. Mode is another thing, and scale is a smaller thing. Scale is a part of the mode. Mode is a bigger thing. Mode goes up to the limits. Lower D, upper D. Scale is from vu to vu, from pa to pa, from ni to ni.